It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Sports Hit List by the fans for the fans. As always, I'm here joined by my panel of illustrious hosts. Starting up, we have Mike, and we have the goon himself, Christian. If you guys are tuning in live and you were seeing the corner screen, you see stunt on these hoes, Jeff Jarrett, because holy shit. Can't wait to get into that. So yeah.
Yes. But I guess anyway, before we get into this very bizarre at some point show, but overall I thought it was okay. What's it called? We have some news stuff. I guess we should finish off the update. I think this is probably the last week we could probably be able to talk about it for a little bit. But Carl Anderson has been pulled from the match. It's going to be Yujiro Takahashi versus Hikuleo at the New Japan show at Battle Autumn on Saturday. This is, I think everyone knows it's a work right now, especially after the news that we got that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be wrestling the Great Muta in Pro Wrestling Noah in a couple months. Actually, no, next month, I believe. And WWE letting Nakamura go wrestle for Noah. There's no way there's not going to let Carl Anderson fulfill his dates with New Japan, and I guarantee you he'll probably be at Wrestle Kingdom.
It's be awesome, though.
Yeah, so that ends the curious case of Carl Anderson. So he's definitely going to be in New Japan to drop that title. So that's a little update on that. But speaking of the Saudi Arabia show,
oh my fucking god, let's not and say we did.
Well, basically what's going on is that the Saudi Arabia show is on Saturday. That's in 2 days. And what's it called?
Just having fun there, trying to reset your camera.
So, apparently, the Saudi government has told the United States that they're expecting an imminent attack on certain places from Iran, is it? I believe it's
Iran.
So how does this affect WWE's big show in Saudi Arabia? Because if I'm hearing this and I'm like, fuck you, I'm not going. But they're not canceling the show. It's all systems go. But yeah, that's something to think about. Hopefully there's no bombs going off during fucking Roman Reigns and Logan Paul.
Not that those played off
Jesus
as it
Christ.
was fireworks during the weigh-in segment.
Oh my God. So this is a little wrench thrown. It's kind of, I don't know what they do. I I mean, you can't really predict the world, so
See,
we'll see.
there you go, Mike. See, it's what happens when you stood up. It automatically just switched the focus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to fix something to be able to move my camera down a little bit more.
So, I want to make it apparent that I hope this is the last Saudi show they do.
It's not. They have a 7-year deal.
I thought it was.
No, they have a 7-year deal with them. They're not. Their
They-
Saudi show ain't going anywhere.
They have
And
3
they
more
make so
years.
much money. They have so much, and plus, when that 3 years is up, they're gonna sign another deal. I'll tell you that because you know why? Makes them a lot of money. Make
Yeah,
Saudi
but
a lot of great press.
They do that, then also
These Saudi,
half
Saudi shows
your
aren't going away.
half your fucking talent ain't gonna show up anymore. They're gonna have to get scuffed Yokozuna.
I don't think so because the money they offer for these Saudi shows, my ass be going over there. I'll tell you that. My ass would be going to Saudi Arabia.
So-
Because even when Miro talked about it, because that's my barometer. Miro talked about how he hated going to these Saudi shows, but he really loved going to those Saudi shows and getting paid. So that tells me all you need to know. And so these ain't going anywhere.
Stupid fact about the first Saudi shows with the Greatest Royal Rumble. Me and my friends, we just watched the Royal Rumble, did not watch the full pay-per-view. 27 out of the 50 participants in that Royal Rumble are no longer with WWE.
Wow.
That's
I remember the end of that was like, wasn't it like Danielson and like W. Morrissey and Roderick Strong and all that stuff?
yeah, it was Roderick Strong, Morrissey, Bryan, and Braun.
That was also where the greatest Royal Rumble moment in history happened, Titus World Slide. But I watched it again last week. I watched it again, and I was like, "This is just the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen."
Dude,
Corey
that
Graves
shit is
corpsing his
hilarious.
ass off. Yeah, listen,
But
there was a lot of
literally,
corpse
dude, he was like inches away from that being like catastrophic.
death. Yeah,
Yes.
like there was. It's funny because it wasn't catastrophic.
Yeah.
But if he was an inch to the right, he would have smashed his fucking head and ended up like Ted Beneke from Breaking Bad. But anyway,
Jesus,
that wasn't the only corpsing thing. Like Corey Graves corpsing on that show is not the only corpsing we had because there was a lot of corpsing in pro wrestling this week because
Uzi?
someone wasn't feeling really Uzi. And
You know-
listen, I will say that was one of the greatest WWE segments I've seen in modern in recent memory.
Do you want to know what's even more funnier? Uzi actually means something in slang for the Samoan community. I'm not lying. Let me get the
I know Oos, but
let me get the Urban Dictionary Uzi. Definition. Come on. Urban Dictionary, where are you? There you go, Uzi. Okay, well, of course you got people updating it now from this past time. Come on, where there was one. It meant like coochie in like Samoan terms. So like that's why they were all corpsing.
because I remember they did the Uzi Hot thing with FTR back in like a while ago, and that was dog shit. But this was fucking great because you got Sami Zayn's dumbass in there. He's made listen, credit to Roman. I give Roman Reigns all the credit. This was supposed to be a serious fucking segment, and this guy Roman Reigns, he couldn't keep it together. He's like, you know what? He couldn't keep it together. He called the audible where it's like, all right, this is going from a serious segment to goofy as shit, and then he just started playing into it, and he's trying to make Jay laugh. Jimmy Uso's in the back losing his mind. Solo Sikoa's off screen. We don't know what he's doing.
I can't
Sami
wait.
Zayn's
I
looking like
got to
an
see
ass-
the
looking
crowd
like an
footage for
asshole.
that. I got to see the crowd footage for Solo.
But credit to Roman on making that segment go from a very serious one to one that it was funny and just completely great. So,
The absolute like So I didn't watch it live, but I saw like of course, like the tweets and the I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says and the look up. Like Kevin Dunn sucks sometimes, but that was masterclass like TV production right there. That was masterclass shit.
Like I that was such a, it was just so great, that segment. And I can't say enough great things about it. We've had great segments in wrestling as of late with the MJF Regal one, the acclaimed, the celebration, after they won the titles, the Usi segment, a lot of great shit. But I guess the only other piece of news I have here on the docket here is that, so we have this, as we mentioned earlier, we have this New Japan show coming up. We got Battle Autumn, and this is one you don't want to miss because the main event on the 5th is going to be for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, and it's going to be the rematch from the G1, Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito. And that's going to be excellent. I can't wait again.
Eating good.
Also, for the first time ever, Aussie Open is going to be in Japan, and FTR are going to be in Japan. So I was actually very surprised FTR was on the show tonight because they got to be there by the 5th, I believe, the 3rd or the 5th, not the 3rd, the 5th, I believe. Yeah, so FTR and Aussie Open are going to be there for the first time. And I guess the only other parts of this are, this is a big deal show because we're heading into Wrestle Kingdom season, Tokyo Dome. We're ready to go for that. As AEW said, there's gonna, well, not AEW, but as people have said, there's gonna be AEW talent on the show. So depending on who that is and like what they're gonna be doing, should expect certain guys from New Japan on AEW, or maybe some guys on AEW going over to Strong. But I think that's something to look out for after Full Gear. So we'll see where that heads because it's probably going to be like a mini type of thing where with Forbidden Door, like Forbidden Door, you see all these New Japan names popping up. I mean, Okada just did an interview saying that he really wanted to wrestle Danielson at Forbidden Door, but that couldn't happen. But I fully expect to see like a Zack Sabre Jr. show up, challenge Danielson for Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, we already got one tonight, which we'll talk about later. But
Can't wait.
But a lot of cool shit coming up in return in regards to New Japan because this is really their big boy season. Besides the G1, they're going into Wrestle Kingdom, and
so
they're starting to get into gear here.
I guess let's just now, just like since we got no more news, let's just dive.
Yeah, the only one is I forgot to say this, GCW and Fight Plus. That's something you want to get on if you're a GCW fan. It's $5 a month. It's basically like the WWE Network, but for GCW. Instead of having to pay $12 to $15.
Yeah, but don't you have like if you subscribe to Fight Plus, don't you get access to like every other thing that they offer?
You get Black Label Pro, you get GCW. I don't know if you get Impact Plus. I don't think you do, but you might.
They should put New Japan on there.
No, well, they already have theirs. They got New Japan World.
Yeah, but like, but I don't get the fucking pay-per-views on New Japan World, like 44th Street. I don't get that. So make up your damn minds, New Japan.
Well, that they don't run it. That's not theirs. That's Fight. It's under
but Fight just fucking do that. Have an extension.
They're using their broadcast team, so I doubt that's gonna change. But yeah. Get on that if you like GCW. I'm definitely gonna do that because I watch GCW shows. I'm tired of paying $15 per show and picking and choosing what I want to see. But so yeah, that's really good news for indie wrestling.
Yeah, I agree. I dropped a back of the pin cap, and also all my lights are red, and the pen tip is red too. So I gotta change my colors after the show. Okay. Anyway, let's just dive into Dynamite here, coming to you live from Baltimore, Maryland. Which is this was a fun show. It had its hiccups.
A lot of hits, a lot of misses.
Yeah, and a lot of proving a basement dweller right on Twitter. Holy fuck. That
Yeah, I thought this was just an all right version of Dynamite.
It had its moments for me. Like I popped huge for a lot of things, but yeah. Let's just talk about the opening match, which was
I
Darby
mean, the
Allin
match
versus
itself
Jay
was
Lethal.
good.
Yeah, I listen. This is their first match. We had Darby Allin versus Jay Lethal on the entrance. They cut their entrance short, and both guys ran at each other in the aisle. But the last match they had was great, so I was excited to see these guys go again because both guys. I mean, obviously Darby and Jay Lethal know how to work, and I just give them some time. They'll produce a great match, and they've done that twice. Um, I really love the spot near the finish where Darby is staring at Satnam Singh and Darby just charges the ropes and he does his tope. He hits Satnam Singh and he fucking bounces right off him. He's gone, completely bounced right off. I thought that was great, but then after that, Bryce throws out Sanjay and
He
Satnam.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's like Sonny didn't do anything. But as he's throwing him out, he's just Bryce is distracted, and some guy in a Sting costume,
not the Sting mask, anything but the Sting mask,
and a Sting costume with the jacket and all the bat. It obviously wasn't Sting because of how tall the person was, but
and how skinny
and
the person
how well
was
he
too.
was moving.
And we didn't know who this was because they've been teasing since last week that there was going to be a friend that knows everything about Darby that's going to be his weakness. So I'm like, I actually had no clue who it could be besides literally, yeah, last week on the podcast, we said, I read a tweet out, like somebody said, oh, don't piss me off. And that's something Jeff Jarrett usually says. I'm like, that's probably not going to be Jeff Jarrett. But anyway, the guy takes but before the guy takes the mask off, I looked at his tights and had the factory logo. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, I was like, is that Two Dimes? And then he took off the mask. Sure as shit, it was Two Dimes. I'm like, all right, that was fucking stupid if it was Two Dimes.
I knew that wasn't it.
Yeah, I was like, no, it can't be Two Dimes. Like, does he have like history of Darby that I don't know about? But as they're going back up the ramp, as they're going back up the ramp, Darby's got his back turned, and who's there but fucking Jeff Jarrett? So it was a fake out. Thank God it was a fake out, because if that was Two Dimes, that would have been the worst shit ever.
You forgot to mention that Sting's music played.
Yes, Sting's music played, and Jeff Jarrett was behind Darby, and he smashed the shit out of Darby's head with this fucking guitar. Darby had a pool of blood in the back of his head, almost a slap nuts type of deal.
I hope you know, like that. So that was clear that they
Is
just
that a blade job?
No, far from it.
Yeah,
that was reopening the wound that he had, because he had staples in the back of his head after a certain match he did. But yeah, and also they powdered the shit out of that guitar for that spot.
Yeah,
they put all the baby powder.
Remember the fucking. Well, I mean, I'm using powder in a different term. Remember the Julia Hart table?
Oh yeah.
That was a gimmick table if I've ever seen one. Moving on.
Well, not a gimmick table. She didn't fucking hit the table.
See, you guys were mentioning powder.
This was the whole table, and then this small ass chunk was taken out of the table.
Yeah. So okay, but when you guys were bringing up powder, I thought you talked about Hugo son of a bitch, who did coke on the one.
Son of a bitch.
Yes, son of a bitch. That's what me and my friends call him.
Yeah. Hugo son of a bitch. Wow. Well, no, that was not powder. That was cocaine.
I know. I was about to say. I thought you were about to bring up the cocaine spot with him having cocaine.
That wasn't a spot. That was him full blown doing a line during commentary. I mean, listening to Taz on commentary some weeks, I wonder myself. But I forgot to say this last week though. But with Matt Taven in AEW now, it completes the whole full circle of my favorite JR flub of all time on AEW. It was in like the third or fourth episode of Dynamite ever. And Trent was wrestling somebody, and JR fucking called Trent Matt Taven for some reason.
Jesus Christ.
and Matt Taven had no it was obviously was not in the company on the fourth episode of Dynamite. So him calling Trent Matt Taven was, I don't know, it just got me. But yeah, but anyway, Jeff Jarrett cuts a promo He's talking about how his family's been in the business, how his grandmother was in the business,
And how they have touched AEW in a way.
Yeah, so
1946.
yeah, I mean, listen, this guy Jeff Jarrett's been everywhere. He's been WWE, TNA, AEW, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions. I mean, what else? But New Japan,
Did he make an appearance at Control Your Narrative?
GCW. I don't think so, but GCW when he wrestled Effie. But listen, Global Force, his own thing.
My man,
but,
I popped huge when he said my family's been making an impact. I was like, oh no,
yeah,
no,
so,
Super show incoming.
yep.
So,
But
God no.
Jeff, I was
Wasn't he also a part of Memphis?
He's been everywhere in wrestling. It's just,
but anyway, just Jeff. I was surprised because I don't know. It slipped my mind. I was like, wait, isn't he like the fucking head of like live events in WWE? But I forgot. I think he was released because he not too long, like maybe a month or two ago, he was literally the head of live events for WWE. I'm like, and then when he was doing it was during when he was doing the Ric Flair match. I was like, okay, so WWE's letting him do this. But now he's in AEW. I'm like, what? I'm like, isn't he signed to WWE for them? I was like, he obviously can't be.
So
if he signed to WWE.
Now the real question: do we get Joker Sting out of this now? Because that's been heavily teased on Twitter by everyone begging for it. Then
maybe.
Then also,
I mean that
you got a
micro ball. You know how they're promoting the micro brawler?
Mm.
It's NWO Wolfpack Sting, so I could see them being like they'll do like how they do different Jerichos, they'll do different Stings.
And
like
also
how they had the Painmaker and the Lionheart and all that.
You gotta love how Jeff Jarrett hit the line of saying, "Now, how do you like that, slap nuts?" And I'm like, "Oh no!"
He did say slap nuts, and he has My World as his entrance theme in AEW.
My World.
He has My World, and I'm a sucker for that song. Even like the evil slowed down version that he used at Ric Flair show, but that was. I mean, I'm so glad he's got My World, but listen. Obviously, AEW doesn't really need a Jeff Jarrett at all. He's not signed. There's no graphic for him. But if he's just here for a storyline reason and a quick and a match with Darby or a match or two with a couple people, that's no harm to me. I mean, that's fine. If he's in and out, nothing wrong with that. So, if it's Darby and Jeff Jarrett, or probably what I think this is probably going to result in is Darby and Sting versus Lethal and Jeff Jarrett at Full Gear.
Yeah, because they probably couldn't get Flair. Because they probably wanted to do Flair's one more match.
I don't think they wanted to do Flair's one more match after what happened. No.
They're waiting for it.
I think Tony Khan is coherent enough and enough to say that
he is coherent enough. That is for true.
I don't think I think he even knew that getting Ric Flair in the ring was probably not a bright idea. But listen, I think that's probably what's gonna go down here. Maybe we can get Stroker Sting at the pay-per-view. But I think that's probably what's gonna happen here. And if that's it, I mean that's cool. That's cool with me. But
following
so Jeff Jarrett in AEW.
While we're still on this segment, I sent you guys a 5-second video.
5 minute
of the Darby Lethal match. You need to watch it right now.
I have to just. Is this? Oh yeah, it's the. Do I do actually? I saw this tweet earlier, but yeah, it's just him bouncing off of Satnam.
Yep.
Like a rag doll.
Oh my god, the squeaky noise.
Yes, that was
unbelievable.
Very good.
That was great stuff. Like Satnam saying all the positions. Like listen, Satnam he hasn't really proven himself in the ring yet, but all the spots he's in where he just fucking people just doink off him, it's just funny.
I kind of wish I never opened Twitter now, Mike, because now I'm looking at Hasbulla as Buzz Lightyear, and it's AI art, and it's creeping me the fuck out. Holy, why am I seeing Hasbulla as Buzz Lightyear? What is going on?
Hasbulla's sick. I love Hasbulla. He's signed to the UFC though.
Okay.
Oh, I just remembered who that was. That's fucking hilarious.
It's
But
Hasbula is the dwarf
Yep.
who wants to do UFC stuff.
well, he signed there, so
He's gonna be doing something, and he's gonna die in the match.
fight. No, he's gonna fight the other guy, the other small guy that
Okay.
he got beef with. I can't listen. I'm gonna be in Buffalo Wild Wings for that fight. Oh, well, Lord have mercy. I can't wait. But
Following this opening match, we had John Moxley taking on
No.
Lee Moriarty. Wait, no.
We had a
what?
vignette had a vignette.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I thought this was after.
This is why I take notes.
Fuck, man. Okay.
But anyway,
What the fuck is going on outside my house? Jesus Christ.
we had another Thanos vignette.
It's the day old. It's a two-day old trick or treaters.
They just so basically the vignette was the finish to the trios title match at
No.
Oh, what?
No, there was a vignette of
Oh,
MJF
okay.
getting beat up last week. And for some reason in my notes, I put next week. I don't know what the fuck was going through my head there.
It was that. I thought it was the Elite segment.
No, I took vivid notes here. It was the vignette to MJF
Mr.
getting beat
Notes.
up last
Mr.
week.
Notes. Ooh.
This is. I take better notes now than I did when I was in school.
I like
okay?
the note taking because it's better than the fucking Twitter feed.
We should start calling you the analyst. Taking better notes, studying everything.
The note taker, Mike Sparacino. Okay.
There you go.
Just
put it
no.
on a t-shirt.
Dear Lord. Yeah, put it up on Pro Wrestling Tees. Give me some royalties here. I need some money. Anyway, the vignette to MJF getting beat up last week. Then we had Moxley backstage cutting his usual Moxley-esque promo, shaking, going back and forth, being very tenacious.
I to acknowledge what Mox said, he talked about how him and Danielson were interested in Moriarty at the beginning of the Blackpool Combat Club, which, he was one of the three guys everyone was talking about between Yuta, Garcia, and Moriarty to join the group. I still think that's a possibility down the line after this Garcia stuff's wrapped up. I could see them trying to save Moriarty from the firm, and he did basically just said, "I want you to be violent, because if you're not violent, I ain't got time for you." But I think that's something they should rediscover later on down the line and take a look back at with Moriarty, because I feel like he'd be a good fit. And the guy's got chops as a babyface. And I love Lee Moriarty. I want to see him more because the guy's fantastic. So and already just having Mox versus Moriarty when that match was announced, I was very excited because that's a match I don't think has ever happened. So and of course, like Mox is probably one of the best promos in the world. And I just love his cadence because he has. I say this a lot about people. If you can have a bad promo, but if you have a good flow to your promo, it's probably not. People are gonna forget the context of it.
Yeah.
But Moxley, he's a good promo. He's coherent what he says. He's got a great flow to him. So, just more of this shit.
I would love to do an impression of Moxley's promo, but all the moving back and forth would put my camera back out of focus.
I gotta do this. Gotta have the autofocus on. That actually works properly.
Oh god. I still can't believe it legit took over a minute to refocus.
You know what? Do you want me to be with you and turn off autofocus on my webcam? Just suffer for a bit.
I think I'll be good.
Okay.
I think I'll be good. Although
okay.
I will say Christian's camera went like the slightest bit out of focus for like 0.02 seconds, and I'm just like, go out of focus.
It's not happening. Not happening.
Ain't happening for a while.
Oh, dear Lord. Anyway, so after that, Zach, we had the Elite vignette.
Thanos.
This was more interesting.
Yeah,
I actually really enjoyed this.
So
it was. Because it was jarring how they posted. There was like no trade, like the Dynamite transition. So they didn't do a transition. They just cut to like the finish of the trios match at All Out, and then
it was like
after they
what?
won, they disappeared.
I was so confused what was happening. So there were two notable things to take from the computer screen of the editing. There was "Get the E out" on the computer screen at one point, And now the one that has been floating around, you have Death Triangle, the live event kind of like tagline teaser thing, kind of show them on the poster.
Yeah, so
taking out the Bucks.
For people who didn't watch it, like it stopped, like the screen, like the match paused after the 3 count, and then it went and it showed like this editing software, not Premiere Pro, but it was an editing software. And
Avid
then
Media
what Zach
Composer.
is talking about is like the stuff on the side.
Avid.
With the folders.
Avid.
Is,
Sorry,
I
don't use Avid.
What's being hinted at, I guess.
Like
the folders.
There was another thing that's like kind of in like a weird format, but it's ES and the number, then a bunch of numbers, Impact, all in capitals, hard sold force, then apm.wav, and then we have delete the elite.
And then after they showed basically the graphic they use for all the live events, saying like on sale now, the tickets are on sale now with like the bunch of the wrestlers in the picture with Dynamite and Rampage. It's Kenny, Matt, Nick in the middle, then they fade away.
I'm kind of happy they're turning at least the elites side into a story.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what confirmed it for me. Bucks, Kenny, they fade away, and then they're replaced by Phoenix, Penta, and Pac, replaced by the Death Triangle with the trios titles, and then after is again the AEW logo with the E fading away before the rest of the logo. So what this told me is that they're gonna come back before Full Gear, and they're gonna or at Full Gear, and they're gonna wrestle Death Triangle for the trios titles.
I'm all for it. Like this is very interesting. I'm happy they're turning, like I said, the elites side of this into a story. Keep Phil Brooks out of here.
Yep, but yeah. So I believe I don't know if they're gonna come back before the pay-per-view or it's gonna be like heavily hinted that they're gonna be back at the pay-per-view. But I do believe whatever happens, we're getting the match, the trios match, and they're probably gonna win their trios belts back. Which that's gonna be fucking awesome. That's a hell of a trios match. Death Triangle and the Elite.
See,
I mean, all guys have had great individual matches with each of them.
Matt, Nick, and Kenny. A trios match, though, now that I do want back, and I'm going to jump to this segment a bit early. House of Black and the Elite are going to be fucking awesome, too, down the line.
Whenever that happens, that's going to be a good one. But
I called this to my friend. Well, not to you guys, to my other friend. I was like, the Elite and the House of Black are on a collision course. They just haven't planted the seed yet.
Yeah,
they are.
Hopefully tonight was the seed.
And I think, well, I don't think yet, but I think they're gonna win. I think if you do
it's
that,
the acorn for this.
See, I'd wait all the way until maybe damn near Double or Nothing All Out for that, because basically you have what's it called, the Elite. They're gonna come back as baby faces. They can't.
They kind of have to.
Even if they come back as heels, they're not going to be booed at all. They're going to be the biggest heroes there are. So they're coming back as baby faces. When they win their titles back, give them a run. Give them a little bit of a run. They fight somebody at Revolution, and then they fight somebody at... I think Double or Nothing is probably better than All Out. I think because you give these guys a run, I think a heel House of Black is the people who take it off them. I think that's who takes it off the Elite, and I don't think you do that. I think you give them a run before you even take the titles off them.
I say we also do this, even though this is a long shot. In the midst of this feud of Elite House of Black, Malachi missed Kenny, and we somehow, because apparently the mist is supposed to change you. Apparently. We get the cleaner, like the...
You're not thinking right. You're not thinking
I'm
right.
not thinking right.
He sprays Nick, and then we get the merch freak.
Shut up! No!
The merch freak back. And then the lights start flickering, and his eyes are rolling back in his head.
No, see, we get the... So we get the cleaner, and then we get Generation Me, actually.
No. I don't want to ever see that shit again. No. I don't need fucking Jeremy and Max.
Freak all day.
I don't need Jeremy and Max. What is it? Jeremy and Max what? Was
I
it
think
Buck?
Buck. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Buck.
Jeremy and Max Buck. I don't need it. I don't need that. Maybe you do the merch freak. You do the where do you think you're going, Matt Jackson,
Oh my.
and you do
This is just BTE bits at that point.
and you
Once they get
and you
missed.
do and you do
BT.
when Kenny was a psycho when he did that one Halloween episode when he was making the human centipede.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
dear God.
Yeah. Man, I miss
That was on the
BTE.
cruise.
I miss BTE so much.
Yeah.
So following the the elite segment, we now transition into the ROH title match, right? Or am I wrong?
No.
No.
We
What
had
the
Lee
fuck?
Moriarty.
Dead wrong.
We had Lee Moriarty
are
versus
so
Jon
off.
Moxley. You gotta leave it to us because we got the notes up.
I thought we just covered Lee Moriarty and
We did.
No.
We were talking about the promo.
oh fuck, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, so we had Mox versus Lee Moriarty here. Coming out with Mox was Regal. And then we had Lee Moriarty with Stokely, who had an African scarf on to try to play jabs at MJF. No MJF on the show tonight. So that was which actually he doesn't guys don't have to be on the show every week. Like guys like MJF do not have to be on the show every week. If you're not progressing the story, they don't have to be on the show. So I mean, a vignette or two is fine. But yeah, so they came out. Ethan Page was on commentary. Him and Dante Martin have been confirmed for the Full Gear title eliminator tournament. There's more names to be confirmed on Rampage this week, which will be
That's
live
starting
again
next week, right?
No, they're announcing more names.
Dude,
Yo,
there's so much noise outside my house.
There is a Malachi Black Supreme Collection 2 figure coming out. Like, that's the figure that has, like, the multiple gears, the multiple heads.
The masks and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ethan Page was completely shit-talking MJF on commentary, which this is, I mean, I have full credence that this guy is gonna, I mean, this guy MJF, he's fucking full of shit. Obviously, this guy is so full of shit. He's got all this. All this is orchestrated. But yeah. So Mox and Moriarty. Listen, these guys work very well together. Very technical in some spots. They're both shooters. So I really liked a lot of the stuff they were doing here, where they just like counter hold. I love the Moriarty when he did the knuckle lock, but then he kicked his fucking head in. But if you guys were wondering, there was a very, very loud ovation in the crowd
for your boy
during the match, and you could see everybody's heads turn, and you see about maybe 6 or 7 just black dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Black dudes walk across television, and I knew they were in Baltimore. I was like, okay, because last time they were there, John Harbaugh, the Ravens coach, and Marlon Humphrey and a couple of other defenders were there because if John Harbaugh was Brian Pillman's roommate in college, and he's knows and. He's a
I thought it was
to,
I thought it was Rick
Jr.
Ross because Rick Ross was also there tonight.
Well, I actually noticed that before when the show started, he was there anyway. He was there at the start of the show. So as I see him, like, oh, okay. So if there's 6 black guys walking across, that's got to be Ravens players, and the reaction that these guys were getting, I'm like, oh my god, is that fucking Lamar? So sure as shit on Taz on comment said, if you were wondering what that reaction was, that was Lamar Jackson, who is the quarterback for the Ravens. That's my team, by the way. So this got me really hyped. So Lamar is sitting in the front row. He's sitting next to Rick Ross. I don't know who else was with him. But yeah, so Lamar showed up. And it was funny because there was a sign in the crowd that said "Pay Lamar." So if you guys a little brief overview on the Pay Lamar stuff, basically what happened with MJF and Tony Khan about how MJF being pissed that Tony wouldn't pay him what he was owed because of his first ever deal, is basically the same shit that's happening with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's still on his rookie deal. He feels like he's exceeded that worth, and he's worth a lot more, and he wants a fully guaranteed contract that's worth millions of dollars, which a lot of the fans want them to give him, so he stays in Baltimore and still is a Baltimore Raven. So Lamar Jackson being on the show was really, really cool for me. So that was cool. But that was the ovation. But very, very shortly after that, Moxley put in a Juji Katami and tapped out Lee Moriarty. This is the second time he's used this. And I believe the first time it was against Juice Robinson. So yeah, he submits Lee Moriarty and wins in a very good match. Then immediately after, Ethan Page jumped Mox, and I believe that was it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh no, did anyone come save him? No, right?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, he got jumped and the left lane, and then they went into a backstage segment.
This was basically to they mentioned on commentary that Page is part of the tournament.
Yep. And
So, I mean, all signs point to him winning so far.
Ethan, it depends on who it is, because I mean, there's only two names in it.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm amazed they didn't announce anybody else tonight.
yeah, we're gonna get those names on Rampage apparently, but I could see like
Hangman Page has to be a part of it
I
at
could see
least.
Hangman. I could see.
Does he?
I could see him like being in it, but not
Well,
going
depends.
a long way.
Well, if he's still in concussion protocol, I think they probably booked it without him in mind. Um, Depends on. I mean, that's data. I don't know how. I mean, concussions are a dime a dozen because look at Adam Cole. Adam Cole's still not back from a concussion that happened in July.
He's helping someone train for wrestling. I saw on Twitter.
Mhm.
So like he's probably doing better.
Yeah, so I hope well as well with him. Britt
Yeah, the
even
only-
said in an interview that he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, only thing I don't like, I wouldn't put money on Hangman being a participant because he just had a world title match like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was actually too. Yeah, that and I think
Like,
guys.
concussion aside.
Yeah, I think guys like Starks, is like a prime candidate for a tournament like this, like a Ricky Starks,
Andrade.
maybe like a Rusher and Andrade,
I
maybe
can
even
go without
Darby or
Andrade.
Lethal.
You know, Andrade's Joker costume was scuffed as hell for Halloween.
Andrade, I don't think Andrade is going to be back for a bit, because of the
Probably
shit
for
that
the
went
best.
down. But like anyway, after this we had a sit down with Saraya and Renee that Britt Baker did not show up for. She big leagued her. And she just didn't show up to the interview. I always thought about this. Like, what if the wrestlers for the interview just don't show up? And Britt didn't show up. So they did the interview anyway. But Renee just asked like basically a softball question about like why AEW. She just says a bunch of stuff. But the main thing here is Renee asked about her medical status. But Saraya basically says there's still one doctor she wants to consult. And she's basically going to give an update on that next week. So basically what that told me is next week the match at Full Gear between Saraya and Britt Baker is going to be confirmed. So that's where I think is probably going here.
I thought that this and the later segment both could have been cut.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought the daddy ass segment could have been cut because they didn't need to do that.
They should have shortened that. Like,
Yeah.
there's certain stuff that I liked about it, but there's other stuff that definitely like could have and arguably should have been cut out.
And like they didn't need to like. I wish they did something else. Like I know like people want women's matches on the show, but that Jade segment was not good. So I wish they just did somebody else. Like I'd rather have like fine with Jade. Like you want to get Jade on there, but this TBS title shit right now is not good.
No bueno.
And
No bueno.
and like I don't really give a fuck that Nyla stole the belt.
What?
Oh,
What?
Jeff Jarrett is all elite.
No
you serious?
fucking way.
I just saw the thing on my phone. Welcome to AEW Diner for the new. Oh, here we go. To the new AEW Director of Business Development, Jeff Jarrett. I'll be looking forward to expanding AEW live events calendar in 2023.
Okay.
Plus in the futures with JJ. Raphael Morphy, and Chris Harrington, those are the two guys who
Okay.
booked the events.
Hold on. I
And
will.
our entire great team in AEW, Jeff Jarrett is all lead. All right, so he's being signed not to wrestle, but to be
There it is,
do what he was
folks.
doing at W. So basically, he's being signed to do what he did at WWE. He'll probably be an on-screen personality. He'll probably wrestle a few times, but he's basically being signed to do the live event, handle live events like he did in WWE. So, I mean, the guy's
That's
obviously the guy's what's it called? His career is not going to be that long in AEW, but
that's
hey,
just what the
that's weird. Obviously, I mean, hopefully he's not just it's not him wrestling a bunch, but if he wants to be like a manager or a mouthpiece for, I think he has strides as a mouthpiece for somebody. I think if you want to give him
100%.
somebody, because what he was doing at the Ric Flair show was fucking great, with the heel stuff. So if you want to give him somebody for a mouthpiece, like Lethal doesn't need him because he got Sanjay, but if you get somebody that can't talk, give him Jeff Jarrett. I think Jeff Jarrett's a great talker.
See, now I'm just like, I'm thinking of all the promo battles that can happen with some of the greatest talkers in AEW.
Yeah, I think that's a good play though to have him work with Chris Harrington and Raphael Morphy on live events, because if he was doing that in WWE and he was successful at that, I mean, might as well. So
That's okay, cool. So that was the breaking news.
we got to hear My World though.
My World.
Put it on fucking Spotify, please.
Man, okay.
Thanks,
Now do we talk about what happened after?
Speaking of Tony, there was like a 10-second backstage promo with Regal.
Yeah. So before they showed Lamar Jackson sitting there, and they gave Lamar Jackson a name tag, like Baltimore Ravens quarterback. They didn't show Rick Ross until the after segment, which I thought was weird, but then he ended up getting his own thing. But what do we have after that? The Tony Storm?
Well, it was the Acclaim / Billy Gunn's birthday.
Yeah, I don't know. So we had the Daddy Ass birthday bash, which WWE fell into this too, which I thought they were fucking stupid for the longest time, because Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, they all do the We the Ones. They were never putting out We the Ones foam figures. I'm like, what are you doing? This is easy money. And it's like, it just happened, and they finally did it last week. I saw them in the crowd. They had red and black or red and white We the Ones, Bloodline foam figures. I'm like, wait a minute, they should do this for scissors, for AEW.
Number
Scissors. They
two,
fucking did it.
we number two.
So we got we have foam finger scissors now, so everyone can scissors to their heart's content with the foam finger. And it's like when they did the Orange Cassidy ones. I think they stopped those.
No, you can still buy them on AEW Shop.
Okay. That and but yeah, so I'm glad the foam finger game is getting all ready to go.
Also, this segment could have been cut down a lot, but the lines of, we invited some guys, they canceled, they're still a bit sour that you didn't show up to the reunion.
That was a great line.
That was just
that got a huge pop. But basically on Rampage, the reason Daddy Ass's fingers were all taped up is because Swerve kidnapped him and
fucking broke his finger,
unbeknownst to Keith Lee, and started slicing his fingers with this tweezer thing. But
it was like mini bolt cutters type thing.
Yeah. So that's why Daddy Ass, he couldn't scissor. He physically couldn't scissors because he had braces on. But so they were giving him presents. Shame. Yeah, it's
that's a damn shame.
It's a national incident. But basically, they were all that was cruel too. Max and Anthony, they were both wearing chokers like Billy. I always never understood why he wore those, but now they are because of Daddy Ass's birthday. So they gave him presents. They gave him a sign from some kid in the crowd. They gave him the foam fingers.
That made that kid's day for a fact. Yeah, like that kid will never forget it.
They gave him a fucking certificate of adoption.
I fucking loved that.
Yeah, they gave him and after that, after the certificate, they gave him a best dad, the world's best daddy trophy. But after the certificate of adoption, the ass boys had enough, because now their father is out there acting a fool, and like, Dad, what the fuck you doing?
Did our invite get lost in the mail?
Yeah, so the only thing that was on my mind during this segment was like, what the fuck is Lamar Jackson thinking right now, watching this segment and hearing the crowd chant, "Oh, scissor me, daddy," and how these guys talking about daddy and scissoring all this. I was like, what is this? What is a guy like Lamar Jackson who probably has not watched a single fucking episode of the product before? Like, what does he think about this? That was all
Oh,
I was thinking about during this segment.
they don't have like the scissor me foam fingers up on the shop yet, but the Orange Cassidy one is still being sold.
Okay.
That's just for
Look at this.
clarity's sake.
Look at this piece of news. WWE has announced that a series focused on Bianca Belair and Montez Ford is coming to Hulu. Oh, now he's gonna get hot shotted to the title, which probably should happen anyway. But that's cool.
Yep, he's gonna prove to the world why he's a damn
That guy's a world champion.
a damn good of a nice guy, and then
I always said that guy's a world champion. Him and Bianca as a heel couple on TV is money. But anyway, W Morrissey comes back and attacks the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. The Ass Boys jump in, they attack too. And then, but here comes FTR to another giant reaction. This is the last time they're gonna be on TV for, not for a bit. Probably, well, next week they have a match, so it's been confirmed after this beatdown. It's gonna be the Ass Boys and Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR and well, no. Yeah, no, Ass Boys and Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR and the Acclaimed. But the FTR came down and saved them, and they held the Acclaim's titles and they stared down at them. So that was interesting. I don't think I mean, the match in Full Gear is definitely going to be Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaim 3 because it's way too early to do FTR and the Acclaim. Because listen, the FTR is very over, but you can't take the title off the Acclaim right now. They're too over. That'd be not right. It's way too early for that. I think maybe Revolution is the time you could do something like that with the FTR. Yeah, we got that match confirmed later in the segment, but that was the Daddy Ass segment. I think that should have been cut down a lot. I didn't think that needed to be as long as it was. It wasn't as good as, the one
Mike, are
previously.
people just fighting outside your house?
No, there's some assholes revving their motorcycle engines.
Oh, okay. Well, that
this
makes
has
sense.
been going on for the last half hour.
This is a funny tweet. Jeff Jarrett, Colt Cabana, Katsuyori Shibata, Rick Ross, and Lamar Jackson all appeared on Dynamite tonight, just as we all predicted.
Wait, what?
Only person that was missing was fucking Saul Goodman. What's it called? So after that segment, which, I mean, they could have cut it down. We had the World Ring of Honor. Well, they had the Regal segment quick.
No, that was backstage with Britt and Jamie, which, like you said earlier, both of those could have been cut.
Yeah, so that's basically they're just building. She's talking shit on Saraya, and Jamie was saying, "I just want to wrestle." So they got a match on Rampage coming up, but
against
the
a
Regal
random
thing,
team.
I don't know if we passed the Regal.
Oh,
thing,
it's well, I mean, they announced it, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, but the Regal thing, though, I actually heard a theory which I actually like. So Regal in the promo he had with MJF calling himself an ordinary decent villain, and how if you want to be the devil, well, he basically said this in this promo too. If you want to be the devil, then show the world, beat John Moxley because you're gonna wrestle a demon in John Moxley. I could see a thing where MJF and Regal end up together. Because Regal is a villain.
I don't think that's all that far fetched.
I've seen everyone say Regal turns on Mox.
That's the thing. I don't want him out of the black. I'd rather have Regal in the Blackpool Combat Club, rather than I like Regal in the club better than I would want him to be with MJF. If that makes sense. Like I'm more of a fan of the Blackpool Combat Club stuff with Regal in it than if MJF had Regal, because MJF really doesn't need Regal. MJF doesn't need anybody. He doesn't need a talker. I mean, he didn't need a manager. He didn't need it when he had Tully. So he doesn't need all this stuff. MJF is his own entity. But what I could see is Regal staying with the Blackpool Combat Club, but still taking Max under his wing and doing some not villainous stuff, not heel stuff with him, but whenever Max needs Regal for advice, he's there. Because, as Regal said, I don't put my name on anybody, but when they do, it's guys like Mox, Danielson, and Claudio. And he said, I will personally put my name on you, MJF. So, and obviously, I don't think fucking MJF's going to be joining the Blackpool Combat Club. We're going to get wrist lock and fucking hammer and anvil elbows from MJF. But I could see something like that where MJF becomes more noble. But that's if they go down the babyface route, which I don't think they're going to do. I think he's full of shit, and I think he's going to be the most dastardly heel of them all. Yeah,
well, to be honest, right now, it's impossible for MJF to ever be a heel again. He has to, like, legit do some fucked up shit to someone in order for that crowd to turn on him again. Like, MJF is forever going to be, cheered. He has to do something fucked up.
Well, he has been getting booed. Like, when he pushed Shivani at Arthur Ashe, he got heavily booed. And the weeks after that, after they were out in New York, he was getting booed. But, he wasn't... after the Regal promo, he got cheered. But then the crowd came back to Regal. It's like, he's still going to get booed when it matters. But when he gets really into it, and when he gets the crowd on his side... Yeah, when he gets passionate, when he gets all worked up, the crowd's going to love him. He's going to be the biggest fucking back-and-forth tweener we've probably ever seen. Because what do we love about MJF? We love to hate him. The crowd. True. Everybody in the crowd loves MJF. We're just playing the part by booing him.
True.
I'm at Arthur Ashe. I thought it was funny as shit when he pushed Shivani, but I'm booing him because fucking I love Shivani.
No, those were real boos for me. You don't push Tony Schiavone.
I will never forget when I showed my friend Ready to Rumble, and Tony Schiavone is in there, and a young Tony Schiavone, and my friend goes, "Why does that guy kind of look like you?" And I'm like, Don't say I look like Tony Schiavone. Stop that. It's not real. Glasses and hair.
Glasses and hair.
Okay. And also, I host a podcast with a bunch of people.
You have a dog named Bug?
No, I have a cat named Kelly.
Oh. I thought it was a cat named Insect or a kid named Finger. But that's besides the point. But what's it called? I had to get that in. I'm a Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fiend. But what's it called? Anyway, after this, we had the Ring of Honor World Title match between Chris Jericho and Vacant. Listen, this guy fucking Vacant. I'll tell you, this guy Vacant.
You know,
how many title opportunities is this guy gonna get?
Hey, all I'm saying is I was going through the ROH television and pure title championship history. I think it was yesterday, and Vacant had some reigns as well at both of those titles. I mean, dude, Vacant, hell of a fucking career, man.
I think it's fucking absolutely abominable that there is no Vacant merchandise on Shop. The only person that wears Vacant merchandise is Hook and Bryan Danielson. They come out, there's no shit, there's no designs, it's plain clothes. That is Vacant's merch.
I'm surprised like Pro Wrestling Tees hasn't jokingly hop on the Vacant.
What Vacant? What hop on what?
Want to have them make some merch for Vacant? Why haven't they decided to?
Well, Vacant needs to hire a better manager or something, or Vacant needs to go into business for himself because no one's gonna do it for him. Do you think this guy's like Joey Ryan? He's like blackballed from the fucking community, but he's getting all these. He's getting hired everywhere.
Okay, comparing Vacant to Joey Ryan is kind of disrespectful to Vacant.
Well, Joey Ryan's wrestling career is pretty much vacant. But anyway, Vacant. Listen, Vacant. Vacant kind of got robbed tonight. Vacant was not able to wrestle Chris Jericho tonight, but Chris Jericho came out. He's out there with Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager. Jake Hager with his favorite hat.
How the fuck are they still selling CM Punk's merchandise at full price? That makes no sense to me.
He's still under contract.
Remember what Mr. Krabs said?
Money.
That's why. They're still selling Cody shit.
Well, Cody's stuff makes sense. In a way.
And Bobby Fish. And Brandy.
Well, where's the lie?
Alright, well.
These guys suck.
These guys suck.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
But
Funny
like, but no,
story
like
about that is
it's still like.
that sound clip came from a literal fucking fish from SpongeBob.
But
I know.
but the, like every single CM Punk AEW merch is still full priced.
Good.
They're probably
Get
gonna
your
drop
money.
them down soon.
Milk the cow, and that's it.
I want to get another Luck is for Losers hoodie because because mine shrunk in the wash.
But
Yeah, I might as well get that.
oh, what's it called? So basically, this match, before the match happened, Jericho said, I watched the Road 2 like about 10 minutes before the show started. So I really forgot that. I thought it was any Ring of Honor World Champion, but is it any Ring of Honor champion? So I was really hoping Deonna Purrazzo would come out and challenge Chris Jericho. But so
I probably would have popped more for her than I did for who showed up.
yeah, so
No offense to who came out.
yeah, so Jericho,
I fucking popped for this guy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
yeah, so Jericho said, "I'll beat the shit out of any. I'll beat up anybody, even Lamar Jackson." And they cut to Lamar Jackson. He's looking down and stuff, but that was funny. But anyway, Jericho says, "Who's it gonna be?" And who comes out? All you hear is boom, boom, boom. Hulk Hogan. I popped for this. I'm like, "Cause fuck you, Phil." But listen, this
Colt
crowd
Cabana was
came
on the
alive.
verge of tears.
As soon as he
was.
said, as he was one of the ones I had in mind, as soon as I knew it wasn't world champions, I'm like, oh, okay. But Colt comes out. I mean, the guy's obviously, you could see him holding it in. He's back. And I mean, Trent tweeted out the video of him coming back and said, "For the boys." So this was like a big win for the locker room. Colt Cabana is back. He's not Dark Order Colt Cabana anymore, but listen,
And
Colt's
to
back.
think, no
For the
CM
first-
Punk chance.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, this
Oh, I
is
thought there
fucking
was
great.
one.
I didn't hear it because I was
If
watching
it
with
was,
friends.
it was shut down.
Either that or just nobody. Like it
Because
was
I
a
saw
one and
somebody,
done thing.
I saw somebody on Dark try to start one, then the crowd shut it down. But Colt Cabana comes out. Everybody's happy. The boys in the back are happy. This is awesome. Phil is not Harry. Phil is not happy. Larry is indifferent. But what's
Now
it called?
Larry's gonna speak to his enemies real soon. Don't you worry.
Bark side of the ring is coming.
Yeah.
But listen, Colt Cabana versus Chris Jericho, and listen, Colt here, he looked great. He was working. That's I wouldn't say stiff, but he was working like he wanted to fucking win. Like he was working hard. He was doing all his big moves. There was a scary spot where both him and Jericho fell off the top turnbuckle to the floor, but both guys were okay, and it actually kind of looked okay by the time it was. But I love Colt doing the Billy Goats curse into the Superman pin, because I always love the Superman pin. I'll never forget when he pinned Yano in New Japan before he went to AEW with the Superman. Yano's like, "What the fuck was that?" Teach me that. But yeah, Colt Cabana back in AEW.
Hopefully he's
Huge
back in AEW.
Oh, he's back. He's back. There's no way. If the Elite are backstage, then Colt and Punk is gone. Colt's definitely backstage.
I'm so, and also
if you got guys like Trent saying "for the boys," I mean, yeah.
This was the most like serious Colt Cabana match too that we've seen since he joined AEW.
Yeah, since that and the Brody match, the memorial match.
Yeah.
Dude, I have nothing against Colt Cabana. It's just like I can't take him seriously as a guy that's ever gonna go for a title.
Well, you better start.
Yeah.
Well, see, you also
That's
better.
like the only problem I had
To
with
be-
him being the one.
To be honest, you also need to start taking MJF's dad seriously, because that's MJF's dad right there.
Come on.
That's right. Mike doesn't know about that story.
Like there's an indie video. You can just find it on YouTube. There's a video on the indies about MJF and Colt Cabana doing an indie spot in like a gym, like a fucking school gymnasium somewhere, saying, "Are you my dad?" But anyway, yeah, I get what Mike's saying, because Colt is primarily a comedy wrestler. But listen, Colt, I have no problem Colt, because obviously whoever was coming out, I didn't expect to win anyway, because there's no sense in taking the title of Jericho. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be challenging for titles. But listen, Colt's a hell of a hand. There wouldn't be an AEW if there was no Colt Cabana. He paved the way for indie wrestlers to make a living outside of WWE.
Yes, he did.
And he's done a lot for this business. So I'm so happy to see Colt back. And this is a huge dub And what was cool that Excalibur did is that he gave a shout out to Martha Colton, I think it was. Um,
Listen, like Phil Brooks may have
Mom.
like shit on, hey, this man owns a bank account with his mom. That whole family helps their mother out. They share the bank account because they're helping their mother out. The Colt Cabana's brother wrote episodes for Simpsons and for Family Guy.
Yeah, and fucking what has Phil got? 2 horror stories with 2 dogs. Larry and A Steel. Fucking idiot. Did you see the thing that? Did you see the meme? It was Dave Meltzer's like Dave finally got a comment from Larry, and it's Dave going
or
Dave's Dave's mid word, and somebody took it. He goes and that was Larry's comment to Dave.
It's this for clarity. Like CM Punk the wrestler will always be my favorite wrestler of all time, but it's Phil Brooks the person that
I don't know about that.
That is not good. I've been the biggest CM Punk fan for like I was remember like like me and Nick, I think like we had a 2-on-1 debate with Matt from the Geek Nation about why Punk isn't overrated, like and stuff like that. Like it was like we will like Punk the wrestler, but we just don't like Phil Brooks the person.
Listen, Punk's is gonna have like one of the saddest ends to any wrestler ever after what happened. But
dude should just go back to the bingo halls.
I mean, he's just another it's just another wrestler that is gonna fall in fate to the art versus the artist debate. It's the same shit you see with Benoit.
Yes.
Benoit is spoken about in such a highlight and a high regard for his wrestling ability and his wrestling career, but obviously it's overshadowed by what the fuck he did. And obviously that's not what he did is not good. Like I see people get on Jericho for posting old pictures of him and Benoit and Guerrero and old wrestling clips of Benoit versus somebody has talking about how good he was because listen, he was good. It's just art from the artist. It's hard to take away. It's like when people say, "Oh, should Benoit be in the Hall of Fame?" No, he shouldn't. There's no excuse for what he did. But was he a great wrestler? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, shit happened. And this is the same thing we're going to be talking about Punk. The same way we talk about guys like Marty Scurll.
Good wrestler.
Great guy, great character, tons of potential, entertaining as shit with the Elite. Oh well, we move on. There's a lot of other people in the business.
It's like Joey Ryan.
It happens. Joey Ryan.
Outside the dick gimmick, great wrestler. Terrible human being.
David Starr, fucking Jack Gallagher, Travis Banks, all the UK, everybody in the speaking out stuff. I mean, listen, I'm not going to deny and tell you that I fucking didn't enjoy CM Punk in AEW and I didn't enjoy CM Punk growing up because I did and I loved it.
You can go back to what like the first ever like AEW Light when we covered his return. It was glowing. We were so happy. We were like, "Fuck yes!"
I mean, every wrestling fan under the earth was fucking happy that this guy came. Look at the reaction this guy got. This guy probably got one of the biggest reactions, if not the biggest reaction,
and sold out
in human history. They
sold
off the Edison on a rumor.
Yeah,
that's the thing because I did go back and watch Punk's debut. That is one of the coolest and one of my favorite wrestling moments ever. But it's one of the most tainted fucking things I've ever seen now. I
think it's cooler to watch his return from the production truck point of view now.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It's so tainted. And it's like I can't even enjoy it. I can enjoy the crowd reaction, but I can't enjoy everything about it anymore.
It's like his whole run was tainted because of what he did. And he made AEW look like a joke.
And there's nobody to blame but himself.
Pretty much.
To be honest, TK should have stepped in and stopped him, but
we forgot we didn't mention this because this came out this week. But another wrinkle to the story was that Jericho.
Oh my god!
Before Jericho went on the media scrum to alert Tony that some shit went down before. So this how small the gap was because it was Punk, Swerve in Our Glory, Tony Storm, Jericho, at the media scrum. So after Punk left, Jericho, but like in between, before Jericho went to the scrum, he told Punk, "You're a cancer and you're a cancer to the locker room, and you're a detriment to the company." That's what he told CM Punk. He basically, apparently, Punk told him to get the fuck out of there, and this is none of his business. Well, certainly is Jericho's business because he's a locker room leader. He's been there since day one, and there wouldn't be a company without Jericho. So it is his fucking business. But this guy went in there and listen. Everyone has said Jericho and Danielson and Mox have stepped up as leaders. But I mean,
hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the three of them. 'Cause I remember, like, if you see like Sammy vlogs or old BTE vlogs, all of them had separate locker rooms. Mox, Danielson, Jericho. I wouldn't be surprised if they started changing with the boys now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Did you guys see the tweet from Ethan Page a couple weeks ago? I mean, he kind of threw shade at a lot of people, like low key.
I didn't see it.
I did not.
He basically said, like, if you're not changing with the boys, don't call yourself one of the boys. So he basically called out. Yeah, he called out a number of people.
Yeah,
with that tweet, aka which included the Elite.
And that's the thing about the Elite stuff because all the reports saying basically the entire locker room is pro Elite, and obviously what they did wasn't the best either. But to be honest, Punk said in the scrum, if you got a problem, come fucking find me. Funny thing about it is somebody fucking found him, and that ended up what happening. But listen, because as we go on, like when we're a year from when we're at All Out next year, we basically look back at what happened after. Am I gonna really give a fuck about what the Elite did?
No.
Do I care that they went in there with the head of legal and confronted a man shooting his mouth off in detriment to the company? Not really. If Punk went in there and popped Mac Jackson, and then Kenny and Matt and Nick and Cutler and fucking Nakazawa all started curb stomping the shit out of him, would that change my opinion about the Elite? Probably not. But listen,
Punk can't even lose to fucking work fighters.
Yeah, when the Elite come back and this is all put to bed, I think that this is going to be one of the biggest blights, probably the biggest blight to the company that they've ever had, and probably the darkest part of AEW besides Brody's passing. Even though that was a horrible situation, that they made the best out of that situation. They did basically everything perfectly. But this situation, when we're finally out of the woods with it, I think it's just going to be. I think this is prime candidates for. I just can't wait to. In 30 years, when me and my son are watching Dark Side of the Ring, and I'm showing it, hey, yeah, I was on a podcast when this shit was going down, and I had to talk about this, and
live as it was happening,
and watching all the documentaries with old gruff ass CM Punk, and you got banged up Kenny and the Bucks. All of them are retired. They're all shooting their mouths off. They're gonna be like Bret Hart every time he sees Goldberg. I mean, if Bret Hart stubs his toe, he's gonna fucking blame Goldberg for it. But which is fine by me. But I just can't. I just really hope this results in the Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Wait, there was a video of Goldberg saying, like, yo, so I was supposed to, when I was going to fight The Fiend in Saudi Arabia, like, the Fiend was supposed to win. Then I got there, plans changed. I had nothing to do with it. Shut up, Bill. We all know you had something to do with it. There is no way the hottest
that might have been a
talent.
Vince call.
Yeah, but he must have been like, then at that point, fucking Bill should have been like, nah, don't do that. That's your top guy. You have to bury him?
Well, I don't even want to think about that.
Anyway, I just got to say, since we brought all that up, I just got to get like a few things off my chest. One, okay, well, not a few things off my chest. I just want to say something.
Yeah.
One, this is this generation's Montreal.
Yeah, for how people are talking about it, yeah.
Little bit. How course changing it was for the company.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about this for years to come, just like that, probably. Two, I'm convinced that there is a major piece of the story that is intentionally being left out. Here's why. Because, like, when Punk, like, in between Punk leaving to go get the surgery and him coming back, those two appearances after Double or Nothing, he looked perfectly fine. And then he comes back before All Out, and you could tell he's noticeably pissed at something. What the fuck happened in that span?
It was
Okay, well, I always
it was
thought
a
it was because he
lot
got
of
injured.
the it was
What the hell
probably
happened in that span?
I think it was a lot of the dirt sheets stuff.
Well, it was that, and because I mean, what I think it was is that what I think was the pressure. I think it was a pressure cooker, waiting to go off. What I think this was is all leading up to this shit. There was the reports of the fucking workers' rights promo with Hangman and Colt, the Colt Cabana stuff, and Colt not being there, and some people in the back being pissed that Colt wasn't there anymore, i.e. the Young Bucks and Kenny
See,
Omega.
I have a theory that Tony Khan wasn't necessarily going to renew his contract either way.
Who, Cabana?
I was just getting that impression.
Yeah. So basically, what I thought from it was he wasn't going to get his contract renewed, but then instead,
Even
I think it
if
was
Punk didn't
confirmed.
come in.
Yeah, I think it was confirmed that his thing wasn't going to wasn't going to get renewed, but he was going to get moved over to Ring of Honor, but to help do that. But what I thought it was because obviously the Hangman stuff and the Colt stuff, Punk was here. I mean, obviously Punk hears about all this shit because, i.e., when he went off on Alvarez at the fucking scrum, um, and when he went after Nick Hausman. What I think this was is that he had all this shit in mind going into that match, and then he got hurt in the match, and he knew he was hurt. I mean, you tear your fucking triceps, you know you're hurt. He knew he was hurt and he was going to be out again, and he would have to drop the title. I think he was like, fuck it, I'll go scorched earth. I think that's probably the case, but there's also the other factor here that, I mean, backing up to the build-up with, I mean, Hangman and the workers' rights promo and the Bucks and everybody being pissed that Colt wasn't there anymore. One thing that I always thought was weird that he said in the promo was, "I'm trying to run a fucking business here." What I heard, because I don't know if you heard listen to Salamon's float this, but
I listened to his AEW streams.
well, I'm saying like on the regular sound off because he floated this on there. He said Tony Khan may have let it slip that I think he was on Busted Open that it might have been I forgot what he said in verbatim, but it was basically hinted at the fact that Punk had some sort of executive role, and that's why it was harder for him to just get cut, and that's
I did
it.
hear that. I did hear
And
that.
yeah, and that would put Punk's comment of
I'm trying to run a
"I'm
fucking
trying to run a
bit.
fucking business here" make a lot more sense, and like maybe he was another EVP, because like Jericho and Mox, they're not EVPs, but they're
That
basically
also
fucking working like
that also
executives.
makes the you have EVPs here who can't even manage a fucking target. That makes more sense now too.
So if that is the case,
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
that's probably why it would be a lot more harder to get rid of him because of legal issues. I think none of them should have EVP statuses anyway. Like, you don't need talent having EVP statuses. Like, Kenny and the Bucks were only really EVPs in name. The only time they were doing EVP stuff is before, like, fucking New Year's on the first 3 months of Dynamite. When like Cody even said he never wants to be an executive role ever again.
Because it's too
Um,
much work.
Yeah, it's too much. Like helping out guys like how Mox and Jericho and Danielson, that's fine. Like Ethan Page agenting a match, that's fine. The Bucks and Kenny and the Bucks and Kenny could continue to do that stuff, but they just don't have to be EVPs.
See, it's now realizing that like
Give the title of
Punk's
founder.
Punk's lines make more sense now. Now that you bring that up, like the you have EVPs who can't manage a fucking target. I'm trying to run a fucking business here. Man.
Well, if you were trying to run a fucking business, then you wouldn't be shooting about the.
Yeah, next to your fucking boss too.
Yeah,
the boss
it's
of your
pretty
fucking
weird
business.
how they still have that up in full, the media scrum.
Might
Because-
as well for documentary purposes. Fucking leave
Yeah.
it.
That because
Anyway, just to I just want to say like two last things on this. One, this is half of a fail if the Young Bucks and Kenny still. Okay, well, more so the Bucks because they're the ones that like went into the room or like led the way going into the room. If they still have their EVP statuses, like if that's still legit and they still have them, that is half of a fail. Two, um, it was like the thing between Jericho and Punk. Punk's issue was clearly with the Bucks and Hangman. If somebody came in and yelled at me and tried to insert themselves in the situation, I would also say, get the fuck out. This is none of your fucking business.
Oh, I think Jericho probably went in there
Now,
knowing that was
I'm
the
not
case,
defending
yeah.
Punk on this. I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
yeah.
like, if because I hate it. Like, I legitimately hate it when there's problems between so and so, and then a third person tries to interject themselves. I hate that with a burning passion.
Well, to think
And
like
I will say that. Oh, I will say this: if their EVP statuses are stripped, I really don't think we're gonna know about it.
we're not going to be able to tell at all.
I don't think we're gonna know. I don't think there's gonna be a press release saying that these guys' EVP statuses are gone. They probably will be EVP still in name, and they won't be having any sort of EVP type of thing, unless there's legal stuff where they can't take it away for some odd reason. But I don't think they're gonna be EVPs anymore. And if they do have that title stripped, I don't think we're gonna know about it at all, unless there's some sort of legal type of fucking thing that's gonna pop up.
So, but I
yeah.
guess since we didn't finish the ROH match, so Colt Cabana got hit with the code breaker.
He hasn't finished anybody with the code breaker
in a
AEW,
while.
I don't believe it.
In a while.
Didn't he do it once recently?
I know he's been doing the code breaker, but he hasn't been finishing.
But
I could have sworn
he's been mostly doing the
once.
He's been mostly doing the Judas Effect and the Lion Tamer.
So I could be dead wrong here.
Jericho hits the code breaker to pin Colt Cabana. Then after the match, they grabbed the ROH commentator.
Ian Riccaboni. Again, Matt Menard and Angela Parker came in and got him. So Jericho this was fucking great. Jericho took his glasses off and put them on and just did this. Just to the camera.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. And after he just snapped his glasses. But here comes Claudio. They start brawling. Here comes Yuta and Danielson. They all start brawling with the Sammy Guevara comes out. They all start brawling, and the security comes out to break it up, and that was the end of the segment.
Excuse me. Following that,
we had Death
we
Triangle.
Were backstage with Death Triangle.
Okay, yeah. So,
Pac is trying to.
Pac's gonna get kicked out of the Death Triangle and keeps on trying to offer this fucking hammer.
Pac, listen, I love how they do it on the Death Triangle entrance too, like how all of them are each side of what personality they are. Rey Fenix comes out of the babyface tunnel. Penta is always in the middle
because he can be a tweener.
Is always on the and Pac is always on the heel tunnel. So you literally have a faction with a babyface, a tweener, and a heel, and they all coincide together. And they all are great together. So you got fucking the heel trying to make the babyface cheat. Penta really doesn't give a fuck because he'll cheat if he needs to. So that was I just love the dynamic between them. Just how you have literally a babyface, a heel, and a tweener together. But yeah, so basically all the segment is just Pac trying to get Phoenix to use the bell hammer and cheat. But I don't know where he gets this shit from because if you just keep stealing bell hammers, if he just kept one, it's like give it back. give the timekeeper her bell hammer back.
I made a joke to my friend. They were like, man, if he takes the bell hammer, what are they going to use? I said, just use freaking Justin Roberts' face. Go, ding, okay, now let's go.
Use it like a coin, like a quarter. Ding, 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 like that.
So this match was good. I personally just enjoyed the Rey Fenix Orange Cassidy stuff a bit more. Towards the end of the match, Luchasaurus did get taken out by the returning Jungle Boy. Creamed him.
Yeah, so they teased Luchasaurus. It was Luchasaurus, Rey Fenix, and Luchasaurus was Rey Fenix versus Orange Cassidy for the Atlantic title.
Orange Cassidy's shirt. Champion of everything in orange.
Yeah. So
for our baseball fans out there, the Phillies just got no hit.
Really? In the World Series game.
Why
Duh.
I'm getting that notification, I don't know. But
I don't know a
did.
fucking lick about.
Listen, how many
baseball.
more games till it's over? But by the way,
You should keep it that way. Baseball sucks.
Yeah,
how many more games till it's over, Mike?
Honestly, I don't even know the score of the series.
God damn it.
Anyway, Luchasaurus teased choke slamming Orange Cassidy on the hot grate, like how he did to Jungle Boy at All Out. But Jungle Boy comes out, hits him with a chair, and Jungle Boy cross bodies Luchasaurus off the stage into two tables. I mean, Christian was on commentary beside himself, but the stuff here with Phoenix and Orange Cassidy in the ring, I really hope they have a singles match because they were great together. And the stipulation for this match is whoever wins the match gets to have their dream match.
So
Have a dream match for at Rampage this Friday. Which what little thing here is I will acknowledge this because last week it was supposed to be Claudio and Yuta versus 2.0 on Rampage, but Yuta was booked for the Battle of 44th Street show,
and he
in New
honored
York.
his booking.
And so they honored his booking because he committed to the New Japan date first. So Yuta did that show, so it ended up being Matt Menard versus John Moxley. Again, but leave it at Mox. But anyway,
just real quick. I actually because we talked about it in the group chat. Then I tweeted it out because I use your line of good brother Wheeler out here committing to dates, and hook, line, and sinker, a fucking WWE shill took the fucking bait. He responds with, "LOL, buddy, if you think he actually double booked himself as a coincidence instead of AEW just taking another shot at WWE, I have a bridge in Brooklyn with your name on it."
Okay.
How does that even make sense?
It doesn't.
That just tells me to go commit
That
suicide.
was a terrible reply.
I'm happy Elon's.
I replied with
gonna get dashed.
I replied with a friend of mine sent a meme of Dominic Guerrero's face photoshopped over Nick Gage doing this, and I just sent that to him. I said L plus ratio forehead, and that was it.
But anyway, I guess what's it called?
One thing I want to point out: Pac did not have the trios belt present in the backstage promo or when he came out at the end of the match. So
yeah, that's strange. But I will say though, with the Wheeler Yuta stuff, so when in the video Wheeler posted saying, like I double booked myself and that yada yada, he said, because I'm doing this New Japan date, New Japan is going to be sending one of their top talents over to AEW Dynamite to compete. So, what I think this ended up being is what was New Japan's thank you for letting you to do the show.
Okay, so jumping to the finish of the match.
Orange hits the orange punch on Ray Phoenix when he tried to do that jumping
clean.
That was great.
His finish was fucking awesome. He hits the orange punch. He pins him 1, 2, 3. So he's in the ring.
Pac comes and starts doing a beat down.
Because Pac early in the match tried to get Phoenix to hit Orange with the bell hammer, but he threw it away. But yeah, he starts getting stomped down by Pac and shit. And then I shit you not, because I can identify this fucking guy's song if it was playing in Manhattan and I'm on Long Island right now. Anything. If it was in a if it was in Hello Kitty, I can fucking
ever
know where it is.
Ever since Forbidden Door, it's engraved in my head now.
Listen, I've been watching New Japan for about fucking 5 years now. This guy's theme song is legendary. It's such a great fucking song, and the start of his song is like such a weird start to a wrestler's theme, but that's literally his name, The Wrestler. That's his nickname, and. There's a documentary on New Japan's YouTube about the LA Dojo, like the origins of the LA Dojo, like when they were getting Clark Connors and Alex Coughlin in there, and like you could see like some of like the trainees in there, like how they lived. It's actually a really cool documentary to watch. But they always the start of the episode was always Shibata's theme, so it always ingrained in my head because of that. But whose theme fucking plays as Orange Cassidy's getting beat down? But none other than fucking Katsuyori Shibata. And this fucking guy, I screamed, I stood up, I was like, what the fuck? The last part, because truthfully, when they said dream match, I thought it was going to be Suzuki
Because that's the
but
match
I
we
was
were
thinking, like,
robbed of.
I was thinking of myself like, well, Suzuki's not even in fucking America.
I thought he was.
No,
Because wasn't he at the New York show? Or did he?
but he's got a match. I believe he's got a match tomorrow.
Okay, that's why I was still high on Suzuki because
Yeah.
I thought, okay, he's in America still, no
This
problem.
fucking guy- So then Shibata comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I was if you gave me 100 guesses, I would not guess fucking Katsuyori Shibata. But he came out with Rocky Romero. Obviously, Rocky was fucking probably the liaison for all of this because that's what he is for New Japan and foreign wise and with AEW. He's literally the reason for all the New Japan stuff on the shows. And he came out with Trenton Chuck too. But here comes Shibata. He fucking stares Orange Cassidy. Orange gives him the fucking the contract. He signs it, and we got on Rampage live. Katsuyori
And
Shibata versus Orange Cassidy.
This is the payoff to Forbidden Door.
Yes, and probably wasn't even supposed to happen. Besides, after the because of the Wheeler stuff. And I will
God,
say this:
imagine if Wheeler was never double booked. What would have happened?
that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit in this company. Imagine if somebody didn't do anything. Imagine if Jericho didn't wrestle Omega. We wouldn't be here right now.
The
A lot of
butterfly effect.
effects. Yeah, so he's gonna wrestle Shibata Friday on Rampage for the Old Atlantic title. And if you guys don't know, follow Shibata had a match against Kazuchika Okada in 2017. Shibata used to headbutt people. He used to grab people by there and fucking headbutt them this, right forehead to forehead. It was nasty. It was the only
that's
wrestling move
right.
that I really, really wince at. So the one match against Okada, which it is on the list.
Yeah, I put in parentheses.
It's an excellent.
I labeled that match parentheses infamous headbutt spot.
Yeah, so it is a unbelievably great match, but Shibata headbutts Okada. He finishes the match, but as soon as he headbutts, you see his little one stream of blood. Doesn't have a crimson mist, one stream of blood, and that to me is a lot scarier than a crimson mask. I could deal with a crimson mask, but one stream of blood coming down from here, that always scared the shit out of me every time I seen this spot. But he headbutts him, and listen, Shibata was headbutting people like fucking every match. But Shibata gets to the back and he collapses. He's rushed to the hospital. So what happened is Shibata needed to have a part of his skull removed because there was a pool of blood in his skull next to his brain that would have killed him. And they had to drain it. And I forgot what the actual thing is called, the diagnosis is called, but he had a pool of blood in his skull next to his brain that would have killed him if they didn't get it faster. So they had to remove a part of his skull. That was it for him. They were never going to let him wrestle again. He's the head trainer for the LA Dojo. He's trained Clark Connors, Carl Fredericks, Alex Coughlin, Yuya Uemura, Ren Narita, Gabriel Kidd. He's got a lot of great students. Kevin Knight, the DKC. But this guy, he's been the head trainer. So basically, all he's been doing is wrestling and grappling with these guys and teaching these guys what to do. He's very respected. Everyone loves him. He's literally wears Young Lion attire because all he cares about is wrestling. His nickname is the fucking wrestler. It's the wrestler. But during the G1 last year, he came out and had a 5-minute exhibition grappling match with Zack Sabre Jr. No striking, no bumps, just grappling. And it was awesome because it was so cool because the only people that knew about it were Gato, the head booker, the doctor, Shibata, and Zack Sabre Jr. Nobody else knew. The commentators weren't even fucking told. So that was cool. And then at Wrestle Kingdom, he was going to have the same type of match with Ren Narita, one of his students, one of the Young Lions, who actually just returned from excursion, which is cool because he's basically baby Shibata. He's basically like the new age Shibata, but he wrestled Shibata because they were gonna have this. They let him do it because they were gonna have this grappling match again. But Shibata got on the mic and said, "Fuck you! I'm not doing a grappling match." And they had a real match. It was very quick, but they had a real match.
It's
And everyone was kind of scared. But this is going to be Shibata's first real match since the
And-
Okada one,
and to think
with no
it's-
grappling match quotations on it.
it's against one of the hottest talents AEW has, and it's going to be on free TV.
And I will say this, that's a real great credit to Orange Cassidy for being trusted and New Japan for trusting Orange in wrestling Katsuyori Shibata in a real match.
Oh yeah,
That is big. That's a lot of trust. And that's not everybody's going to be able to do something like that. It's got to be selective.
That must have been like a lot of talking from Rocky. That must have been a lot of like, hey, Orange is the safest guy I know. You can ask Dustin. Like he knows Trent's shoot name. Like he knows Orange is absolutely safe. This is gonna be amazing.
I really hope they put out that shirt he had. I really like the fucking just the one that says the wrestler on it. I hope they have a sweatshirt of that because that shit was sick. But even this because he stared down with Pac. I want to see that more, kinda. I want to see Pac and Shibata because those two guys. I always said like
Book it for Wrestle Kingdom.
Pac is very, very, very similar to Shibata. Pac is like the UK version of Shibata.
Bring Pac to Japan. Have them do a New Japan match.
How about you put Pac in the G1? How about that?
See, that's some strong TK cocaine energy right there.
Listen, I think next year's G1.
It's gonna be fucking amazing. Or even next one's best is
Super Junior. And actually, yeah, I expect on Saturday we get a lineup for Super Junior Tag League and World Tag League.
Oh hell yeah!
So we're finally gonna get some lineups.
All right, next up,
I texted a friend during this. Please tell me you're watching, and his response was, "I am." Oh baby.
What? That. This was so like I was half expecting to hear Suzuki's theme. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for it. Then I hear that, and I'm like, that sounds familiar. And then it kicked in. I was like, holy fuck!
First fucking notes, I was off my seat screaming, what the fuck? But listen, I will say this about Shibata though. This is really crazy.
Uh-oh.
This completes.
We're about to be in unfocused territory.
Because not even. Basically,
just get close to your camera.
Oh, we're good.
Hey!
So now this is actually really crazy to think about. Bryan Danielson had to retire. He's back. Edge had to retire. He's back.
Christian
had
to kind of retire.
Roman had to go away for sickness. Saraya, Shibata.
Also, I'll try. You just reminded me something. WWE put out, hey, 10 years of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I think you're forgetting someone.
No, I didn't think they were gonna acknowledge Mox, the fucking guy, the world champion of the other place.
But still, like the Shield was a crucial part in WWE back then.
Well, they acknowledged Dean Ambrose in the press release. They just didn't put like
his face
on it.
Okay.
After this, we had probably the worst shit on the show. Marina Shafir.
The worst part is
wait a second. We had Tony backstage with Rick Ross and Swerve Strickland.
Shit,
dude, Rick Ross was hilarious.
Rick Ross is fucking awesome, dude. Get this guy on Dynamite as Swerve's new manager. Are you kidding me? Rick Ross, mouse, pear, get him some stupid shit. But Rick, listen, this is Swerve's value. Swerve attracts all these big ass fucking hip hop stars to this company. I mean, he's done it with Kevin Gates. He's done it with Fabulous. He's done it with fucking Trina and not Action Bronson. That was all Hook. But Rick Ross now. I mean, I'm probably forgetting some people, but I mean, shit. Oh, Bow Wow! If you saw the shit with Bow Wow and Swerve and Jade Cargill on Twitter, which they did acknowledge on the show,
Jade is
but
married, isn't she?
he's trying to shoot his shot with Bow Wow. I mean, Bow Wow's trying to shoot a shot with Jade, and Bow Wow is fucking said he wants to wrestle on AEW, and he's talking about talking with Swerve and stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, listen, Bow Wow's gonna be on the show
Eventually.
It's not I would say it's not like, as he said, once he's off tour, I'm coming. So listen, it's not an if, it's actually a when Bow Wow is gonna show up. So listen, Bow Wow versus Miro. Can't wait. I can't wait for Bow Wow versus Miro. Or Bow Wow versus Malachi Black. I hope he missed Bow Wow in the face and we get Tokyo Drift Bow Wow.
So,
on AEW.
Giovanni's finally got some respect. He got offered champagne.
Yeah, because Keith Lee's still fucking indifferent about Swerve committing kidnapping.
And assault.
As he should be, as a logical person.
And assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, but Swerve and Rick Ross are like, no beef. We're good.
Positive vibes over.
There was-
and Keith Lee's trying to get to the Swerve, but we got fucking Rick Ross there. Keith Lee's like, all right, man, you know what?
There was a
Who cares,
tweet
you know?
that was so it's like it's a bit of the segment, I guess. Keith Lee's using big words, and then you see the caption is Swerve told Rick Ross that Keith Lee likes to use big words for Reza just started throwing out his big words that he could remember from court hearings. That's the only thing Ross could remember is the court hearings.
You should have said pears.
Pears.
Oh.
But the shirt off too.
So yeah, so
I eat a lot of pears.
this
I
match this match we're about to talk about
Just
fuck. So
bad.
This was a
the
fucking
worst
terrible.
thing
Very
was
bad.
the worst thing was 3 days before this, JD from New York shits on it. Shits on the idea, and Twitter attacked him for it. Rightfully so, because JD could be a fucking dickhead sometimes. Let's be honest here, and everyone was like throwing shade at him, and then I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe this match is good just to shut him the fuck up. And
That's
what
a
do
fuck
they
match.
do?
I didn't think that was good.
They bring out Nyla Rose and show her for half the fucking match.
Yeah, she's doing commentary for the match. It's
She's
like,
doing-
none of this was good.
She's doing Black Snow, Booker T from
No,
TNA.
stop it. Stop. Black Snow was fucking hilarious. I would live and die by that. Black Snow was fucking awesome.
I'm not saying
And Black Snow, Black Snow.
I will never say
You know
Black
there was a
Snow's
Black
terrible.
Snow- you know there was a Black Snow reference on NXT last week?
What the fuck?
Vic Joseph called, he's like, are you going to go with Halloween as Black Snow? And then Booker basically said, we don't got to go there, man. But yeah.
But no, I will never shit on Black Snow. That is like
Black
the
Snow.
funniest shit in the world. But I thought,
the neck
damn.
bone connected to the chicken bone. Fucking, I love Black Snow.
I thought, damn,
Holy shit.
now that Rose out here commentating a match, she's doing full Black Snow mode right now.
No. If he wants to do Black Snow, he has to go in there and fucking stomp him down while he's commentating.
So amidst this terrible segment, we actually had something that was absolutely hilarious by Taz. Vicky and Nyla start doing commentary, and Taz just goes, I think our jobs are secure. Dude, I lost it in the moment. That was such a great line, and by far
I will say
better than
I have-
anything else that happened on this segment.
I have like so me and my other Discord, we're talking about no, we're watching like old NXT like the game show NXT shit, and man, Cole on commentary is
Oh, Cole
so
was fucking
unhinged.
awesome. He was
So
in rare
unhinged.
form back then. He was in rare form. Cole on commentary back then is
Stop the
basically
pain.
Cole did not give a single fuck about NXT. That he's basically like Excalibur
Was that-
and Taz on dark commentary.
Was that recorded before or after
It was
SmackDown?
before. It was before.
my
It's like
God.
how they do main event.
Because like it's like we all like we're all cracking up about it because he just says the most unhinged shit in the world. Like, man, I wish this match would just end already. How much time do we have left?
Dude, the stop the pain sign.
Stop the pain. Like, and then also the one thing I don't appreciate is when he was shitting on AJ Lee, because AJ Lee is absolutely based, in my opinion. Sure, she's married to a fuckhead, but what can you do?
Actually, funny thing about her is she actually, I think it was in an interview, she basically
She
stated
hated that shit too.
no, she basically stated that she was afraid of this, like afraid of that happening, like the moment he signed.
Really? She was
Yeah.
afraid of Punk going back to his
Like
old ways.
going off. Yeah.
We actually forgot to mention during the lethal segment that the person who took off Sting's mask was actually 2 times.
No, we did. We did.
Oh, we did.
Oh, we
Okay,
did.
okay, we did. But yeah, it was 2 times, and yeah, but then Jeff Trash showed up. But anyway, we don't have to spend any more time. Fucking, the Nyla still got away with the belt.
Did we?
Jade had stated when
just terrible.
Kiera Hogan got fucking screwed up, but this was not good.
Did we talk
no
about?
good.
So after this, did we get the vignette that we've all been waiting for?
Yeah.
The rebirth.
This.
So, fun fact, I want to talk about this because I saw 2 YouTubers that I fucking love to death.
Justin Wang
And
Justin
Rusty
Wang was in the
Cage.
segment.
And Rusty Cage.
I don't know who that is.
That's the guy who does like who made the knife song of "I have all my fingers, knife goes." That guy. He's also the guy that made the Noose song.
Oh, I've seen that guy before. But I popped when I saw
Mike
Justin
here
Wang, 'cause
being old doesn't know what we're talking about.
I
Pretty
have
much.
one of Justin Wang's sweatshirts. It's the motorcycle from Final Fantasy VII, the Hardy Daytona. I have that because Malachi, even like him and Malachi are friends. Like he'll model some of the black mass clothing line, and Malachi will wear some of his sweatshirts and stuff. And when I saw the motorcycle, because listen, obviously I'm a huge fucking Final Fantasy VII fan.
I'm still pretty
I had to buy the motorcycle.
I'm still pretty peeved at the Black Mass shirt that I got when he was released from WWE, because the shirt, amazing design, but whoever printed the logo like as if it looks like it came off Redbubble, and I'm so mad. It's a cool fucking shirt too. It's Tommy End coming out of the ground of a burning church. It's awesome.
But anyway, so we got the last week.
They all posted their
so Julia, Brody, Buddy, and Malachi all posted on their Twitter and Instagram. Like Malachi posted the full video, but Julia, Brody, and Buddy, they post like a short thing of them. So it's just very well done, very professional looking vignette of just the House of Black. But in this one, it's like there's like disciples, like one of them, Justin Wang. They had like Julia was burning a corpse. She was drowning a corpse. She was burying a corpse. So it was like Julia was burning. It looked like she was
the rebirth.
Drowning Buddy, burning Brody, and fucking
burying Malachi.
And then they came back up. Malachi's eye was more fucked up. He had blood on it and stuff. I have to watch it back again because I only saw it once. I couldn't. Everything went so fast. I need to really take another look at it.
It's the rebirth of the House of Black.
Yeah. So what this needs to be is they need to get their shit together and get these guys booked fucking correctly. Because when Malachi first showed up, that guy should have been in a world title program at least 6 months down the line.
Well, he might have been promised that, but the promises were not met, apparently.
That and I mean, obviously the injury stuff that happened later on where you couldn't really do anything about that.
Also, this is to the WWE fuckheads who thought, oh, he's going back to WWE. He's leaving. He's gone. Fuck you. Sit and spin on it.
Well, I think he was but I mean, he just wasn't granted his release because he has till like 2025 or 2027 left. So if he was granted his release, I absolutely think he would have went back to WWE.
But this might change his mind for contracts now if he gets booked properly. Yeah, this might change his mind.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But that was a really cool segment. Then they announced the Rampage lineup. We have fucking Katsuyori Shibata versus
Orange Cassidy.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
I might actually watch that. Oh wait, fuck! I can't watch that. I don't think.
You can record it and watch it after.
Because I have to go to a hockey game at the school.
You can record it and watch it after.
Sure, I could.
I take a little bit of offense to how your tone was when you said that.
Because it's not for pleasure. It's for a project. If you're forced to do it for school,
this is a good point.
Do you think you're gonna enjoy it? Sure, it's gonna be a fucked game because it's Oswego versus Plattsburgh, our rivals. So, and I will say straight up, like off topic, I went to one hockey game because I want to get some footage for the project. Oswego's student section is so out of pocket. There was before the game started, the enemy team, their goal is unfortunately in front of our student section. So they were huddled up, I think either doing a before the game prayer or just kind of like a hype up moment. The student section was chanting circle jerk at them.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. That's the type of shit I'd be doing.
There also was a no bitches chant towards the enemy team. There was a it's all your fault chant whenever we scored a goal to the goalie. And we have a chant.
I know exactly where they stole that from.
And we have a chant that's been happening for decades. We take the goalie's last name. So this goalie's last name was like Jeffries. So we do Jeffries, you suck. And then they do 0, 0, 0, you suck, which means you got 0 points on this game so far. And then in the penalty box, whenever the opposing team was trying to see if they can get out, student section would yell, "Sit down, bitch," the entire time. Oswego, so out of pocket. I hate this school, but I love witnessing that.
What's it called? Anyway, the other rampage lineups are
It's
Sky Blue and Madison Rain versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. There's gonna be more announced after. There's gonna be more names announced for the World Time Eliminator. But what I don't know if there's gonna be 2 matches on Rampage just because they're gonna let Orange and Shibata go long, which I don't think they will. Which I think I think that match will probably be around 10 minutes. But what may end up making that match much better is that we might be in a world Friday that there's going to be Orange Cassidy versus Katsuri Shibata with Taz and fucking Mike Tyson on commentary. What the fuck is going on? What is happening?
Bizarro world.
Shibata, Orange Cassidy,
and
Mike Tyson.
And Tony Khan's like, yo, Mike, don't promote your weed company.
This Katsuri Shibata.
Don't promote your weed company, Taz.
This Katsuri Shibata. Oh my god, man! I sound like Michael Jackson instead, but anyway.
Oh my god, man!
Anyway, listen. The best fucking thing of Mike Tyson I've ever seen
was him yawning, holding the TNT title.
Besides his boxing career was when he was on like the Segway thing and he fell fucking right on his back. He was on a Segway thing.
No, see,
he fell right on his back. You gotta find that video on YouTube. It's fucking hilarious.
My favorite thing is him just no selling the Lance Archer Cody Rhodes TNT title match. Him like
up on the TD. He was tired. He actually enjoyed his time. He comes here willingly. Because I remember the first double nothing he just went to.
He comes here willingly, as if they hold a gun to his head and go, "Hey, Tyson, you got to show up. Jericho needs another funny spot to do." Man. Jericho, they better put Jericho on that team with.
Oh shit! Hasbulla Lightyear. It's on my screen now too.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah. But anyway, I guess we go to the main event. We had the
Embassy. They also announced 2 matches for. They announced the match for Dynamite next week. The Acclaimed and FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory.
We talked about that
the
earlier.
Ass Boys. Did we?
Yeah, we did. They also mentioned
the match stuff.
The what?
Did we mention the match?
Yes.
We did. Sorry.
Okay. They also mentioned how that there's going to be more matches announced for the Boston show on Rampage.
Yeah,
they also
I have
announced
a declaration to make.
What?
They also announced Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter for the pay-per-view.
Yes, okay, yes. Before the main
there's
event,
going to be...
they had a video package of... I actually really like this because it showcased how they're actually friends. How Jamie and Tony lived together during the pandemic, and because they knew each other from Japan, obviously, and obviously European indies. They showed like pictures of Jamie and Tony from back in the day and stuff, but it just cuts to Jamie. It's like, she's not my friend anymore. Britt's my friend now. It's like it makes me that meme is like friendship ended with Tony Storm. Britt Baker is my best friend now. But so finally Tony versus Jamie for the AEW Interim Women's World Championship at Full Gear. Jamie's first ever singles title match. And I think because we talked about it last week in full, so if you want to see that, but I think that's where she's the Britt Baker. Britt Baker's gonna fuck her over. But I listen with the reactions Jamie's been getting, I'd be tempted to pull the trigger and put the title on her. But I do think they still want to wait for Thunder Rosa to do the Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm, where Tony would win. But I think Jamie Hayter. I think there's a strong possibility they could call an audible after the Acclaim stuff.
Depending on how far along, maybe the UK show ideas are on the docket for AEW. Save it for that.
Yeah, because if they do it summertime next year, it's probably the best place to do it.
Because it all depends on how far along that is. If it's still way out of the question, then definitely call the audible.
And it's like if Tony wins and beats Thunder Rosa and Britt fucks over Jamie, you could do like a good number of months, maybe leading up to a pay-per-view of just Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. You could just do that story to keep Jamie occupied until the time comes when she gets back to the title picture, or they'd have her do something with Jade instead, because Statlander not around. But actually, Statlander was out on like literally there was like a dark match with like Rocky Romero and the Best Friends, and Statlander was there.
She was out at the end. She was out in North Carolina doing her Ricky Bobby costume.
Yeah, I saw that. But I will make
if you don't chew Big Red, fuck you.
I do have to make a declaration because Zach likes the Factory, Mike likes the Trustbusters. I think. Was that you or Zach?
It's me still.
Like bad shit. Okay.
It's me still.
No. Zach likes the Factory, and I just like to put some respect
on the Factory's name.
Well, I'm gonna put my name on the Embassy. I actually really like this group. I like the makeup of it. I love Prince Nana. I'm finally glad that he's getting a shit. I always thought Bishop Khan was really cool when he had the match with Adam Cole on Dark. And Toa Leona was a guy on Dark that was like, this guy's got something. And them all together is pretty. And with Brian Cage, I think they're pretty cool. I like the Embassy. But for the main event, we had for the Ring of Honor television title, we had Brian Cage versus Samoa Joe.
This was fun. Surprised this was the main event.
Yeah, so was I. I thought the main event would have been Moriarty and Mox. But
or even Jericho for the title because they have a big surprise.
But yeah, so we had this match Match was good. A lot of basically Cage had most of the match. He got most of the offense in this match. Joe gets him in the Coquina clutch and taps him out. Submits him. Afterwards, Joe it gets attacked by the rest of the members of the Embassy. Wardlow comes out and makes the save, and after they all fight out of there, Wardlow's in the ring, and Powerhouse Hobbs gives him a big ass fucking spine buster and starts holding up the TNT title as they go off the air, and that was Dynamite. But I thought this was weird because this is basically the same ending they did on Rampage. This was literally the same shit they did on Rampage Friday.
I think they blew their load with. I think maybe because of Shibata, they should have ended the show with the triple threat.
Yeah, I think they probably should have did that. But I will say though, I really am a fan of Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs at the pay-per-view. And to be honest, I'd take the title off of Wardlow and put it on Hobbs.
Oh,
I really would put it on Hobbs.
We forgot to mention Demon Hours that fucking Wardlow does. Chains girls up and he has sex before every match.
That was nothing but cap. Nothing but cap. Don't worry about it, Mike. We'll send you the article. But
okay.
But that was nothing but cap.
The look on your face was like, wait.
What
Wardlow
is
fucking
is going on?
Wardlow knows how to play to the crowd. He knows how to play.
Dude, I have Facebook up and I saw my face again.
And you were like, let's just say Wardlow Fox.
But anyway, so
Dear Lord.
Wardlow, and it's
Listen,
gonna be
it's
Wardlow.
midnight. It's some demon hours.
Yeah. It's
This is
probably going
true.
to end up being Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs at Full
Yes.
Gear for the TNT title. This is probably I think this is the first time the TNT title will be defended since All Out 2021. So that's pretty good. I'm glad it's getting on more pay-per-views, and I really would, because Wardlow's title reign hasn't been the best. I mean, because he's mostly killing guys. You can't really do much when he's just doing the powerbomb stuff and he's killing guys. I mean, the one match he had with Brian Cage was actually pretty great, but I think
that
there's a
was
lot
good.
more mileage in Hobbs having the TNT title. And listen, Hobbs looks like $1 million, and when he held that title looked really good on that guy. So I think Hobbs with the TNT title, I think that's where they need to be going.
I still say bring back the open challenge stip for the TNT
Yes.
title.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like the smartest idea possible, is to bring back that open challenge. Because one, it gives guys who are on the indies more eyes and a possible chance of getting signed with AEW in the future.
Now, here's the only thing. Like, they've signed so many people over the last, like, year and a half, especially.
Trying to think.
Like, you gotta use the contracted talent you have.
Yes.
True. Maybe, hey, summertime, dude's gonna be graduated, dude's probably gonna be of age. Have Nick Wayne come out as an open challenge one day.
He's technically assigned talent.
Well, okay.
Oh, yeah.
When he graduates, have him pop out for the open challenge.
Here's my, I
Have
a
Jordan
theory.
Oliver pop up for the open challenge.
I have a theory. What if Wardlow beats Hobbs and Miro comes out? Because where the hell is he?
I don't know what you do with Miro. I don't know where Miro. I want Miro on television.
Miro could be in that. Is he in the mix still with House of Black, or is that just dead and buried?
I think House of Black's been totally reset.
Oh, actually, what if Miro goes after the All Atlantic title?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to. I think that's a great person to take it off of Orange, because I mean he already fought for it at Forbidden Door. He was in the Fatal 4-Way for it. So I think a feud between him and Orange Cassidy. He has history. He's wrestled Orange Cassidy before. He's destroyed Orange Cassidy before.
Yes.
So I think that's probably a way you should actually no. You know what? That's not a bad idea. I think eventually, when it's time to take the title off Orange Cassidy, I think you bring in Miro. You bring back Miro. You put the title on Miro and let him have like a TNT title reign that he had. I think right now,
which was very good.
And I think right now you probably want to do Hobbs. I think Hobbs would be a great TNT champion. I think he's got everything it takes for him. So,
so that really was after. So yeah, Hobbs kind of put down Wardlow, held the title. Yeah. The show closed out.
Oh, I just want to give credit to Brian Cage here, because he did that. I can't remember what the hell it's called, where he basically like twists Joe up and then does the. What's
that's
that
like
called?
Choke driver?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's yeah. But I think he dropped.
Dude, Samoa Joe's a big boy.
He did that, and he did the pump handle fucking like slam where Joe fell on his fucking face.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. That's what.
Then yeah, that will do it. The rest of the week, I'm gonna give it to Shibata, even though he doesn't have any merch. Shibata is just gonna.
Oh, he does.
Okay. Yeah, find it. Buy it. Who's your guys' wrestler of the week?
You can go first, Mike.
No, I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I'm actually gonna go with. Well, obviously we have our Hook and Jamie haters. You gotta acknowledge them.
Yes.
You gotta acknowledge them. But I'm gonna go with this week. If you guys haven't watched the match yet, it's I mean the 15-minute time limit match is on New Japan World. I highly recommend checking it out. But Ren Narita versus Tomohiro Ishii, and I'm gonna give it to Baby Shibata. Ren Narita probably had the greatest match of his life this week, and I recommend everyone checking it out. So Ren Narita.
I think I will go Orange Cassidy because of that finish to that match.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was. Hey, shout out to Lamar Jackson for making an appearance on the show. Raven flocks to win the Super Bowl.
That'll
Fuck
see
yeah,
this,
baby.
but you know
Hey,
what? Sure.
hey, fuck the Jets. So anyway,
Oh well, fuck you too, then, buddy.
Zach Wilson sucks.
Okay, and now we'll do Corona time. Goodbye.